Wednesday, the 24th of August 2022, marks 3 years since the brutal murder of Cape Town young woman Uyinene Mrwetyana, and South Africans are paying their respects, including fellow gender-based violence GBV victim Munewa. The University of Cape Town student was murdered by post office worker Luyanda Botha in 2019 after raping, strangling, stabbing, and using a weight to ultimately bludgeon her head. Botha set her body alight in a deserted field in Khayelitsha. Munewa, who herself has spoken out recently about suffering abuse from an ex-boyfriend, added her voice to the South Africans remembering Uyinene. Responding to a Women for Change Instagram post about Uyinene, Munewa said, "The last time I was in Cape Town, I thought about her so much. When I was at the beach, I reflected on her last posts there. I believe death is only physical. I pray her soul is happy and at peace." Despite numerous protest actions and GBV campaigns, GBV continued to be a silent killer in South Africa. According to police crime statistics, the first quarter of 2022 saw 13,799 sexual offences being reported, of which 10,818 were cases of rape. Minister of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, Maite Nkwana Mashabane, said in a statement, although the current statistics paint a horrific picture of violence in our homes and communities, the unfortunate reality is that there are many who continue to suffer from extreme forms of violence in silence. We are really faced with a shadow of the pandemic of violence against women and children. Meanwhile, an NGO dedicated to Uyinene and fighting GBV has posted a touching tribute and remembrance of her. Sharing a post of the slain student through the years, the post read, "This day is never easy, but we choose to celebrate you." Uyinene would have graduated this year, and we know she would have been on a massive celebration in honor of her achievement. May you always continue being celebrated. The fire you created in all of us is still burning fiercely, they said. The Patriotic Alliance has taken a different direction in the wake of the backlash received by Limpopo MEC of Health, Dr. Poppy Ramathuba, for mistreating a foreign national in hospital in her province. MEC Ramathuba was filmed lashing at a patient who happened to be an illegal foreigner from neighboring Zimbabwe. She told the patient who had been operated that she was killing her health system in front of hospital staff. While many have reacted against her action, the Patriotic Alliance, led by its unapologetic leader, Gayton McKenzie, showed Ramathuba support. There are very few countries, if any, where a foreign national with no legal documentation can expect to receive the same level of healthcare treatment as a citizen of that country. Those who have joined the bandwagon of outrage against Limpopo MEC Dr. Poppy Ramathuba appear to think South Africa must be the exception, said McKenzie. He went on to say it is a simple fact that illegal immigrants are placing all services of government under enormous strain. They are far from the only problem besetting our country, but to try to downplay the scale of the problem is something that seems to be not only among us, privileged enough to afford medical aid and private healthcare. The Patriotic Alliance went for the opposition parties that demanded Ramathuba to step down. The same angry writers of press statements in the ranks of the DA and EFF should first try competing with illegal immigrants for access to government services and entry-level jobs before they complain about an MEC who simply had the courage to say something obvious to the majority of the citizens. The party leader alluded to what MEC failed to address is also blaming the ANC, which has gotten the country to the state. Even so, all those trying to use this as an opportunity to signal their humane virtues should be called upon to explain why they believe South Africa should be the hospital of the world, he said. Tegwini Metro Police Department spokesperson Superintendent Boise Zungu said they received reports around 7 p.m. of protesters gathering and barricading the road in both directions, Umgeni Road that is, in Durban. The group used tires and branches to close off the road. Zungu said protesters were not too far from the Macro store in Springfield, which was looted during a protest in part of KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng last year. Zungu said more reinforcements were on the way. It was not immediately known what the reason for the protest was. Minority parties have not been able to get their motion against the Johannesburg Executive Mayor Mpho Phalatse approved, but Speaker Vasco da Gama's future is still in the balance. The coalition government led by the DA in the city of Johannesburg has been navigating turbulent waters after minority parties joined forces in an attempt to oust Executive Mayor Mpho Phalatse and Council Speaker Vasco da Gama. Speaking on behalf of parties, African Independent Congress Councillor Margaret Arnold said the motion against Phalatse was not passed because it did not comply with requests. These parties make up 11 seats in the council, but with backing of the ANC and the EFF, they will be able to muster at least 131 votes against da Gama. However, they will need at least another 5 votes for the motion to succeed at the council sitting scheduled for 31st of August. Despite this, Arnold is confident that they will have the required numbers to oust da Gama. The motion for the speaker is still valid and it will go ahead, but one for the mayor will not go ahead. Remember, with the mayor, it is because there is a case in court, so we cannot bring it up in the motion. So she is safe for now, but we also know she is going to fire some of her members and mayoral committee, and that is going to be detrimental. She's going to fall as mayor, said Arnold. President Cyril Ramaphosa was correct to respond to the DA court case, says an analyst. Johannesburg, President Cyril Ramaphosa was correct to respond to DA papers as the state president, according to the legal analyst Benedict Piri. Ramaphosa's response to the court papers filed by the DA in defense of cadre deployment as a governing party. Ramaphosa says the DA has been unable to establish independent facts demonstrating the policy is unconstitutional and goes against the Public Service Act. Piri said the DA might have a tough task ahead. The Zimbabwe Exiles Forum is backing Limpopo Health MEC Poppy Ramathuba. If it says she is not xenophobic and is only highlighting the truth. Now, the forum blames Zimbabwe's President Emerson Mnangagwa for Zimbabwe's flocking to the local healthcare sites. It comes after a viral video of MEC caused a stir on social media. She's seen telling an undocumented patient the influx of Zimbabweans is burdening the health system. South Africa cannot keep taking more and more Zimbabweans of Zimbabwe's problems. There has to be an end to all of this. It's true that we are burdening SA's health system. It is beyond reasonable doubt. She provided factual info on South Africans that are catered for in health system. Now there are so many Zimbabweans that are here, not because they want to, but because of circumstances beyond their control. Gauteng ANC chairperson Panyaza Lesufi says the party needs to let go of the leaders that are no longer productive and rope in young people. He says the party has renewed itself ahead of the national conference in December. Lesufi was speaking to JJ Tabane on Power to Truth. When we say we want to govern, I don't think there's any political party that says we want to lose elections so that we can be in coalition, he said. I feel we have learned our lessons. We were inward focused and forgot to represent many of the people. We got a huge punishment. The ANC is still an organization of choice and we must let go of deadwood, Panyaza Lesufi said. Limpopo is gearing up to host a series of celebrations over 3 days to welcome newly crowned Miss S.A. Ndavi Nokeri to her home province. Provincial government spokesperson Ndave Ramukwela said special events had been planned to welcome Nokeri, who hails from Kavaza village outside Zanin. The events there are set to happen from tomorrow until Sunday, including a music festival, breakfast sessions at Meropa Casino, which will be attended by the Premier Stanley Matabata, a parade through the streets of Polokwane, a visit to Greenside Primary School where she will give motivational talks. The homecoming will close with a bang as the family, community of Gavaza and surrounding villages will be given an opportunity to celebrate the Miss SA in style through a music show to showcase a diverse culture of Limpopo. Nokeri is the second woman from the province to win a prestigious Miss SA title within a space of 3 years, following the footsteps of Shufadzo Musida from Ha Masia village in Venda. She's also expected to pay a courtesy visit to Chief Mhlaba's royal place after having been officially received in Mopani region by the district mayor of Mopani, Pule Shai. Ramukwela said the visit to the palace will be followed by an appearance at the Ezamazwe Education Center for Innovation. Staying hydrated is an integral part of any race, especially the Comrades Marathon, and organizers have the mammoth task of ensuring that all the refreshment stands are adequately stocked. After a 2-year coronavirus-forced hiatus of the 95th Comrades Marathon will take place on Sunday, the 28th of August, 2022. It will be a down run from Pietermaritzburg City Hall to Durban's Moses Mabhida Stadium. The starter's gun will sound at 5:30 a.m. and runners will have 12 hours to complete the race with cut-off at 5:30 p.m. The official race distance this year's event is 89.885 kilometers, which means that the runners will run 299 meters shorter than they did in the 2018 downhill run, mainly as a result of the current roadworks along the route. The race was last contested in 2019 with Edward Motibi winning the men's runner-up race in 5:31.33, while Gerda Steyn was the women's winner at 5:58.53. Both the men and women's winners will walk away with 260,000 rand and a gold medal. Second and third will earn 130,000 and 90,000 respectively, while the 10th and final gold medal winner will bank 12,000 rand. Finally, and further afield, in our beautiful but sometimes troubled continent of Africa, the International Criminal Court's chief prosecutor said Sudan had promised its full cooperation in the war crimes probe of atrocities committed in the Darfur region under ousted President Omar al-Bashir. Karim Khan spoke after meeting Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, who seized power last year in the coup. Burhan, who was a senior general under Bashir, has promised his full cooperation and commitment to justice for the people of Darfur. Bashir, 78 years old, who has been in custody in Khartoum since 2019 ouster, has been wanted by the ICC for more than a decade over charges of genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. 2 other former aides are also wanted by the Hague-based court to face war crimes and take the charges.